Captain Forest here, and in today's video I'm going to be going over both these combatants to see who would win more often not in a cross-verse situation. Leone from akamegakill versus Yang from RWBY. If you guys are new to my channel and you guys like anime content and comic book related content, please leave a like, comment down below and consider subscribing for further content. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead, dive right into this one folks. I'm going to talk about Leone, I'm going to move on, then I'm going to talk about Yang, and then near the end of the video I'm going to give my 2 cents on who I think wins more often not in a cross-verse situation. Now there's not too much to go over for Leone, but I'm going to go ahead and start off with her since she's pretty much short and sweet, straight to the point. Now, in order to determine and understand where Leone would scale, I must go over some feats and calcs. So in chapters 54 and 55, Budo was able to tank a blast from Mind's Tengu called Pumpkin, and he was able to come out unscathed. A casual blast from Mind's Tengu can completely vaporize a large terrain, which this feat in question was calced around the 896 kilotons of TNT, aka large town level plus. This is very important because Leone is able to scrap with Budo in combat and also tank attacks from and endure a lightning blast from this very same Budo, and she's able to get back up. So Leone would, in terms of AP and even durability wise, should scale to this. Gonna move over to speed real quick. Both Leone and Akame are able to react to lightning blasts raining from the sky from Budo's Tengu ability. Akame herself has a feat where she was able to react to this lightning bolt, which was calced around the Mach 825, and Leone is fast enough to charge and grab Akane away from an attack from Esdeath, and Esdeath herself was able to react to Budo's lightning too, but her reaction speed was calced a little less in comparison to Akame's, equating to Mach 680. So Leone would downscale from this, which is very impressive. Now that's going to round up stats. I'm going to go ahead, talk a little bit about Leone's Tengu. Now Leone's Tengu, Lionel, is a belt that lets her transform into a beast, instantly increasing her physical strength and abilities. It also grants her a keen sense of smell for tracking, and it also allows Leone to smell the intentions from her opponent and helps her to understand the situation and her opponent's intent. Leone has demonstrated her keen senses, such as spotting a danger beast from a far distance, and while in this form it increases her speed, agility and reflexes too. Leone is also granted a small healing factor, allowing her to heal from minor wounds, and Leone is very resilient. She showcased that she has very high pain tolerance, really good thresholds, even after having her arm sliced off. She literally continues to fight on despite her injuries. So that's going to pretty much round up Leone. Short and sweet, has some pretty straightforward feats and straightforward abilities. I'm going to dive over and talk about Yang, see what she brings to the table. So, in order to determine where Yang would range in terms of attack potency, we must address some of her feats and scaling. Yang and Blake were capable of defeating one of the members of the Ace Operatives, like Alm alongside Yang. The Ace Operatives are General Ironwood's elites and are heralded for their remarkable abilities and performance in combat. In fact, they demonstrate their abilities and power against Penny, as they are able to damage Penny in combat. This very same Penny is strong enough to push Amity's ship into orbit, which was calced around the small city level ranges of attack potency. We can take this a step higher for Yang folks. There is also a direct feat performed by Yang herself where she one-shots and completely destroys a meteor. Due to the meteor being completely incinerated, this feat was calced around the 1.7 megatons of TNT up into the 10.53 megatons of TNT, which would equate to small city level and up until the city level ranges of attack power. And if we include Yang's semblance called Burn, which doubles her attack potency when she takes damage, this would further double and increase the calc, which would move it up to the 21.06 megatons, which is still city level but just higher into the tier. Now there is a way to get this feat past city level. So in volume 3, Adam was able to one-shot and amped Yang with his sword, which would require more than double the attack power to do so, which would pretty much round up to 42.12 megatons of TNT, which would be really high into city level. Now we're getting more higher into the tier. And then of course Moonslice is the attack that is shown to be comparable to Yang's semblance according to Blake. So his sword basically works like Yang's semblance so the Moon Slice attack dishes out double the damage when his sword absorbs attacks. Now Yang goes on to get stronger in the later volumes, and this is shown in volume 6, where Yang is able to withstand Adam's amped Moon Slice attacks and is able to physically hurt him. Near the end of the fight, Yang is able to one-shot Adam with her semblance boost, so if we do the math again, this would pretty much mean it would be up to around 84.24 megatons of TNT, and obviously doubling that due to the amp, this would pretty much amount to 168.48 megatons of TNT, aka mountain level, which is pretty crazy. Your girl Yang's pretty strong. Now, I'm going to go ahead and move on to speed. So Yang is able to react and tag Adam in combat. This very same Adam has his own speed feat where he's able to react and block a particle beam. This feat was calced around the 42% the speed of light, aka relativistic speeds. We can get Yang even higher as Yang and the rest of the team of RWBY all do battle and contend and react to Cinder and her firestorms, which is very impressive. Cinder herself has shown to dodge Penny's laser beams. The first one was calced around the 11% the speed of light, aka relativistic speeds, and the second laser blast, which was calced around the 1.95 times the speed of light, which is FTL. Then we can get it higher. Pyrrha herself has her own feat, as well as she was able to pretty much react to Penny's beams with relative ease, and this was calculated around the 3.33 times the speed of light, aka FTL. So we have some really good ranges of speed for Yang, especially in the relativistic and the FTL ranges. Speed, very nice. So that's going to round up stats. I'm going to go ahead and move on and talk about something in the verse called Aura. Aura is the very power source in RWBY itself, generated from the user's soul aura. For all users in RWBY, form a passive force field around them to defend against attacks from opposing targets. Aura can be used to make localized barriers to block attacks, as shown by Ren. Aura can allow the user to heal from injuries, such as Jean healing a scar on his face. Neon was able to heal from her black eye, and Weiss, after being aura amped, healed from being stabbed in the torso, and judging from the spot where the javelin spear was thrown, it more than likely pierced through her liver, so it was able to even hit. Aura can even heal things like that, which is pretty impressive. In volume 6 episode 1, this huntsman was able to heal from his arm being twisted after being aura amped by Jean. It also provides resistance against heat and cold environments. Characters like Yatsuhashi and Neon withstood a geyser's air pressure, which can reach approximately around 210 Fahrenheit, which is very hot. Characters like that, due to their aura, can be protected from harsh heats, like that's enough to burn your skin. Flint's aura can also withstand the stream of lava, which tends to have a temperature of 2200 Fahrenheit, so there's some really good decent heat resistances due to natural uses of aura from all these characters. Now, projected aura can also allow them to survive the cold tundra of Atlas. Without heating or projected aura, the cold of Solitus can kill you within a matter of hours. In the world of Remnant, it showcased it was so cold it froze most Grim instantly, meaning absolute zero temperatures. The aura can even be argued to be able to withstand temperatures even to those degrees, which is very cold. Absolute zero temperatures can instantly freeze things that touches the atmosphere, of course. So there's some really good things you can take it far with the auras in RWBY. So that's going to round up Aura. I'm going to go ahead and move on and talk about Yang's semblance. So Yang's semblance, called Burn, lets her absorb kinetic energy from every blow she takes and uses it to make herself more powerful. This is a form of kinetic energy absorption, with Yang subsequently redirecting said energy against her opponent. Yang has the ability to absorb energy from the damage she has also taken, and she can pretty much just redirect it with twice the force, effectively making her stronger with each hit. She can also save up the energy to use later for an even more devastating attack. When using her semblance, she draws power from her hair. And that's going to round up Yang's semblance. Let's talk about her weapon of choice, called Ember Celica. These dual range shotgun gauntlets are matching metallic bracelets. When activated, they fold out into gauntlets with protruding gun barrels. Inside, there are chambers that holster the cylinder, consisting of 12 shells, giving the weapons 24 shots in total when both gauntlets are fully loaded. A silver barrel is concealed in the front of each gauntlet, aligned between the knuckles of the index and middle finger. The gauntlet's offensive function is rooted in creating pulses of raw kinetic energy, which activates the dust inside the shell, which emits flashes of light resembling explosions from them, and they are capable of knocking enemies back to great distances. Also achieved via Yang punching with her activated gauntlets, which projects explosive dust, which basically is used to perform physical damage to her opponents. Yang can also utilize the gauntlets in many ways. She can not only just use them in hand-to-hand combat, she can also use them for mobility and long-range attacks, as those shotgun blasts can travel toward the opponent from far distances. Yang can also use the blast from her gauntlets to propel herself through the air or toward an opponent, or to intercept or redirect an attack back at them via the shotgun blast, or blocking physical attacks with her gauntlets themselves. Later on in Volume 7, we see Yang and her team gain upgrades to their weapons. Yang now utilizes explosive dust inside of her shotgun shells, which stick onto the target when she punches them. Yang recoils her elbows back, which activates the timer on them, and within a couple of seconds they detonate and blow up the target. In RWBY Arrowfell, which is also canon to RWBY, Yang gains an upgrade to her semblance and gains the use of a rare dust called combustion dust. Yang uses this to fire off blasts of atomic heat, which means that these attacks burn and affect things down to the atomic level. Okay, so that's going to round up both these combatants. I'm going to go ahead, give my thoughts on who I think wins more often than not in a cross-verse situation. In terms of attack potency, Yang definitely has higher AP feats, higher AP scaling into this fight easily, low ends of city to mountain level, very impressive scaling. Leone unfortunately only has like large town level plus durability and AP, so the difference is very big. So Yang, she's easily in the one-shot range, so I gotta give AP to Yang. Speed, Yang is way too fast. Yang easily has FTL reaction speed, scaling to other characters in the RWBYverse who can also react to lasers. So easily Yang would definitely blitz Leone. Leone only has massively hypersonic, so Leone would get blitzed many times over. Yang is just way too fast in combat. So overall, based off what Yang has to bring to the table, win cons, Yang has her semblance, of course, burn, which further amps her AP, doubles it. Every time she gets hit, she gets like insanely strong, exponentially stronger, so that is also her best win con in this situation. She also has a dust. She has, explosive dust, combustion dust, atomic dust, which vaporizes you on an atomic level. And Yang is very skilled in combat too. So unfortunately, going into this fight, Leone doesn't have much to do in this fight. Due to the stat difference, Leone's win cons just aren't going to really be useful. She doesn't really have any solid win cons. Her main approach in character is to pretty much rush down her opponent and try to one-shot them or smash them in the ground and use physical raw AP. And due to the difference, Yang is just going to outskill Leone. Leone has no skill feats, and Yang is just going to one-shot due to having higher AP and her semblance backing her up too. Like, Leone can't get through the aura, Leone can't get through Yang's durability. Yang is just way too powerful, and even with Leone's healing factor, it's not going to suffice. Her healing factor is very paltry, just very pathetic. Yang will literally one-shot her before she could do anything. So more often than not, I gotta give this to Yang with like no difficulty. Yang just has far superior stats and better win cons and better ways to neutralize Leone. So I gotta give victory to Yang. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment down below. Let me hear your thoughts on the comment section. It's been real. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.